Livability is very important as it relates to planning and public policy setting. We see a community that's very interested in density done well and communities that thrive.
The Livability Index captures the view of over 2,500 residents, which is critically important for us because we need to capture their views and understand what drives satisfaction, particularly as their communities change and evolve over time.
The Livability Index is the voice of our customer, and it's critical to informing our Better Places manual because it really tells us what's important to our customer. And then this becomes a guide for every community we create.
We utilise the Livability Index to measure the impact of the decisions that we make when we're planning a new community has on the health and wellbeing of the residents that live there. This is the way that we can make sure we invest our money in areas that matter the most for the customer.
We identify what the key drivers are of livability and then measure our performance on those attributes at a community, a state and a national level. There are 5 key drivers of livability that we've identified: community perceptions, community design, personal circumstances, the home and education.
So enhancing livability is really about enhancing people's experience within the community. So whether it's good design, whether that looks at hard infrastructure or things like the park, the play areas, the physical infrastructure. The other aspect that we think is really important is how do you help bring that community together? How do you really help them thrive? And so we're delighted to be involved with a number of key partners to deliver on things like health and wellbeing.
Sense of belonging for a customer is a huge driver of their both happiness in a community but also their health and wellbeing. And it's really driven by social connection. We know social isolation is a huge issue in new communities across Australia. So the more people can get to know each other, the more they have that sense of belonging. And we do that through infrastructure that we build, the parks, the shops, the community hubs, the schools, but also by the activities that we run within these places. And be something as simple as park run. It sounds like it's for health and wellbeing, but what it really does is allows people to meet their neighbours, meet people within their local community and build those friendships, which is so important to people's health and wellbeing and ultimately that sense of community.
The key learnings really are 3 things. The first is to have connected places where community can really thrive, where people can interact and where that social cohesion forms. Secondly is to make sure that it's easy to get around, that there's good public transport, walkable. And thirdly is to bring the amenity and the infrastructure early, whether it be the public transport or the schools, the town centre, the playgrounds and the play spaces, the childcare. The earlier that comes in, the more deep community connections and ties that form.